Creativity in Reggio Emilia by Georgia, Rachel, Dana and Monica.
This film presentation is about how the Reggio Emilia approach supports creativity in children. It will include a definition of creativity, how Reggio Emilia supports imagination, creativity, choice and critical thinking. It will include the role of technology in Reggio Emilia and the role of the adult. Duffy says that creativity is about connecting things that were not connected before in new and meaningful ways to the individual. Parkhurst says that creativity is important because it can help to address issues such as dealing with ambiguous problems and coping with the fast-changing world.
Bono, a world authority on teaching what is called creative thinking, explored that creativity is one of the most important human resources. He also suggested that every child has the potential to create a natural curiosity of the world. Moreover, the child perceives the world as a space that can be changed and something new can be created, something that will take on a completely new meaning. Therefore, the aware provocation of unconventional thinking about even the most obvious situation is one amongst manners of perfecting the ability of lateral thinking. Despite this, however, this concept is a subject which was criticized by Wynne, who considered that this is the way of solving problems that has always been practiced. Nonetheless, these skills developed additional methods and tools that allow to experiment with new information. This part of presentation will focus on one of the teaching methods used in early childhood education, such as Reggio Emilia approach. He would explore that it was created, developed, and implemented by the Italian pedagogue and psychologist Loris Malagucci in collaboration with parents of Reggio Emilia in Italy. Moreover, this method focuses primarily on the needs of children who have an inner need to discover and explore everyday reality on their own. However, in order for the children to achieve this goal, Reggio pedagogy must be constantly changing and transformed according to the needs and perception of teachers, parents, and children alike. This section will focus on the imagination and creativity in Reggio Emilia. Malagucci explored that a child has 100 languages, which have a natural need to communicate and express himself in many different ways. By using different tools such as painting or drawing, children are protagonists, complete students ready to learn, to create knowledge and to develop the imagination, which from birth is naturally full of curiosity about the world. Following video will show an example of that. Furthermore, one of Reggio's biggest advantages for imagination is that it offers a variety of opportunities for children. Whereas various teaching materials such as glass, paper, plastic or wood made available and children are given the freedom to choose how they use them, free up their natural curiosity about the world and develop their pupils' ingenuity and critical thinking. They can experience joy when they do what they are the most interested in. Following video will show how the girl is using different materials to make her creative picture. However, in building their imagination and being creative, children have to make mistakes. Consequently, they will develop a process of self-determination.
Now we will talk about choice, which is an aspect of creativity that the Reggio Emilia approach supports. Edwards et al. Discussed that the Reggio Emilia approach supports and promotes choice because it includes project work, which encourages children to make their own decisions about what work will be undertaken. Katz and Chard say that this can increase a child's confidence in their capabilities and attributes, and therefore empower them to make their own decisions and their own choices based on their own interests, ideas, and preferences. Through promoting and supporting children to engage in own-initiated projects, it provides ongoing opportunities to make choices, to explore, create, make decisions, and problem solve. Sands and Wimea say that this can contribute to developing children's self-determination because they have the opportunities to have this control over themselves to do these things, making choices, choosing to explore, choosing to create things, problem solving, and reaching their own decisions. Fryer discusses that children need opportunities to ask questions and search for solutions to be critical thinkers. Ronco suggests that informal contexts with open tasks and freedom can encourage critical thinking because it allows children to show curiosity and take risks as they explore and learn about the environment. And Newton suggests that there are often opportunities for children to use their imagination, which helps them to generate ideas and possibility thinking. For example, the bottom photo shows children gathered around a dead bird, having been provoked to try to solve the mystery of how the bird has died. Their curiosity has led them to engage in problem solving and possibility thinking. The Reggio Emilia approach supports critical thinking by allowing children to engage in this sort of critical thinking. Also, the children had the opportunity to learn from one another, bouncing off one another's ideas to try to solve the mystery of the dead bird. This links to Vygotsky's notion of proximal development in that the children are able to learn from their peers.
Within this section, we will look at technology and how it's being integrated more into modern day-to-day life, at how it reflects in schooling, and how technology can be effectively used in the Reggio Emilia approach while still promoting creativity. According to the latest Ofcom's Communications Market Report, the average person in the UK checks their phone every 12 minutes. So how does this reflect in children's uses of technology? Ofcom's Child and Parent Media Use and Attitudes Report 2018 found that 52% of 3 to 4-year-olds go online for nearly 9 hours a week. This rises to 93% going online for 13.5 hours a week by the time they are 11. With the increasing statistics of children's at-home use of technology, it is no wonder it is beginning to be integrated into early years practice as well as mainstream schooling. Technology as a tool for learning is being encouraged massively within Britain, with recent guidance such as the Realising the Potential of Technology in Education document released by the Department of Education in April of this year, encouraging technology use and setting guidance for practitioners to work from. This document claims that when used effectively, technology can be used to drive student engagement and attainment and to support effective working environments, but often technology isn't used effectively or creatively within a setting, therefore fails to have the positive effect it has the potential to have. So how can we see technology being used effectively within the Reggio Emilia approach? These photos are from a Reggio-inspired early childhood centre. They demonstrate how ateliers can use a range of technologies to further explore their ongoing projects. For example, in the bottom left we have a light atelier. She's using technology, in this case projectors, to further investigate light and how it affects objects. She's doing this in collaboration with the children, as pictured. In the other pictures, we can see the atelier helping children to investigate the environment, not only the things around them, but themselves as well. They're using a range of different technologies, such as laptops, cameras, and microscopes.
Reggio Emilia, the role of the adult. Although the Reggio Emilia approach is quite child-directed, the adult still has a big role to play. The teacher is a guide to the children, providing direction where it is needed. While the children are allowed to explore freely within this approach, teachers are required to observe. This is to fully understand how the children are developing. Another important part of the role the adult must play is the environment. The teacher must provide an environment that encourages the children to be curious and inquisitive. This will allow the child to be able to take control of their environment, allowing for the play to be child-led. In conclusion, the adult leads an important role as a guide. Although the adult does not lecture in the Reggio Emilia environment, they are a support for the child to learn independently. The Reggio Emilia approach benefits both the adult and the child. The child can learn with little instruction, and the adult can observe the child closely to ensure they are meeting their milestones.
This film presentation discussed how the Reggio Emilia approach supports creativity by supporting imagination, choice, self-determination and critical thinking. It also discussed the role of technology and the role of the adult in the Reggio Emilia approach.